everyone, this is Aria Craig, your empowerment and leadership strategist for ambitious moms, particularly single, divorced, and blended moms who are ready to elevate themselves personally and professionally. And I hope that this video is coming through good because it is the sun is popping out here in Chicago, and I'm loving it. I'm taking in this vitamin D. I'm loving it. I had to kind of close my door a little bit on the side to kind of block it because I don't know if it's interfering with the light that I have while I'm broadcasting. But it's just been quite a bit of a journey, I have to say. I am grateful for everything that is being placed in my life right now, and the journey, the progress, the elevation, the direction that I'm going. So I've gotten so much great feedback when I vended and spoke at MommyCon 2 weeks ago. So just so you know, I don't know if you are aware, if you've watched my videos, the past videos, I've talked about how I was going to be speaking at MommyCon Chicago about 2 weeks ago, and the audience there was amazing. I loved them. I got so much great feedback. I had moms that came over to my booth afterwards to talk about their personal experience, and one of the moms actually she had a question because she was newly divorced. So actually there were a few in the audience that were newly divorced, and they're trying to figure out how to juggle now their lives. It's like their new normal now, and it's difficult because when you're in a household to where you have both parents, you know, it's you and your spouse that were basically taking care of both of the chores, raising the child together, activities for the child. You know, you guys were planning things together. So one person had a chance to do some things that they needed to do, and the other person had a chance to do things that they needed to do. Now it's different. You know, when you are going through a divorce, you have a new chapter in your life that you're starting. So she was newly divorced, and she wanted to know, because there's so much tension at that point, which most marriages, when you are going through a divorce, there's a lot of conflict and a lot of tension there between you and your ex-spouse. So she wanted to know, like, at this point, and this was new for her, like she's struggling with now raising children by herself. She has the support from the father, but she's at home doing things by herself now because she's the only parent that's there. The children live with her. So the first thing that I suggest that any parent do when they are in a situation to where they are going through a divorce is to seek counseling. You're used to a certain flow and a certain routine, and you're used to having that extra support there. But now, again, with this being I don't want to say your new normal, it's now a new chapter that you have to grow from. And you getting counseling at this point is really going to help you get through this, like master it. So get counseling for healing, get counseling for forgiveness, and get counseling for preparing your plan to move forward for growth. So when we're talking about healing, you don't want to be in a space in forgiveness. You don't want to be in a space to where this becomes a bitter pill for you to swallow, because it's going to permeate. Like it's going to manifest itself in all of your relationships, like your relationships with your family members, with your relationships with your friends. Your children are going to see it because you're going to be bitter, probably talking or mentioning their dad, or anything that reminds you of their dad. It might be something that they always did with their dad that they do with you, and it's going to remind you, and you might even not even realize that your mood is about to shift. But you have to get in a space to where I recognize that this is what my life is right now, and that it was a hurtful time. This is something that is hurtful, and you're not going to get through it overnight. It's a process. It is healing, recognizing that you've gone through something, wherever that situation was and whatever led to your divorce, but recognizing that this is a period that I need to process this. I need to heal and move forward, because not only do you depend on it, but so do your children. You don't want it to manifest over into your professional life. Because trust me, your leaders are going to see that. Your manager, your supervisor, your co-workers, your colleagues, they're going to see that. And if there's anything that I've ever talked about from a professional standpoint in corporate America or with your career, is how us as single and divorced women we have a different dynamic, and we have to battle certain things in corporate America in terms of getting promoted and being in positions that we feel that we are very qualified for and overlooked because leaders, managers, supervisors, or whatever may not consider us because they feel like we have to go home and take care of our family. Like we don't have the time and the energy and the space required for that particular position. That's going to require more attention, more focus, more work, blah, blah, blah. And I cannot, that is so untrue. I mean, there's such a untruth to that. It's not even funny. To me, if anything, if you are a single parent or a divorced parent, you probably can handle that role probably more equipped to handle that role better than anyone, because you have to deal with certain challenges and problem solve through those challenges better than other people because they've never been in that position before. And that's personal, that you try not to let filter over into your professional life. So from a professional standpoint, though, you want to make sure that it doesn't come off a certain way, because when you are in a leadership role, whether you are a lead of a team, you're a supervisor, you're a manager, you're a director, you're an executive, whatever the case may be, you are in a position when you have people that report to you in which, well, you're in a role in which most of your time is spent trying to navigate people's character, their personalities, their moods, their emotions, this, that, and the other. Like it's more so that than it is monitoring and looking at day-to-day activities, seeing if something was completed and meeting a deadline. That's part of it too. But the most part of when you have people that report to you is managing people's personalities. And if they see that you are constantly bitter and angry, they'll understand, if they know the circumstances. But after a minute, they're going to want you to pull it together, because this is a business, and they don't want what's going on in the business to be impacted by what you're going through personally. And they will look at that and may not even recognize you for a leadership role, because they're going to feel like you can't handle it. Like, because you won't be able to handle being in a leadership role. So you really want to get counseling on processing your emotions, which are valid. They are real and they are valid, and don't let anybody else tell you that. Process them, but be in a position to where you are strong enough to move forward. And that strength is only going to come from you. Like, you can only you can determine when you're going to be strong enough, but you don't want to become wallowing in misery or sorrow and anger and victim and woe is me. You really want to get to a point to where you say, okay, this is how things are, and I'm going to turn this around and really survive and thrive. Because you, at the end of the day, after all this is said and done, after the smoke is cleared and the divorce is finalized and time has passed, and you're able to get into a sense of routine and normalcy, you are still a woman who is worthy of companionship, worthy of going back to school. Because I hear a lot of people say that they didn't go back to school, or they didn't pursue their dreams or achieve their goals because they were supporting their spouse. And that, I can't tell you how much that bothers me, especially if you have children, because it's almost expected that the mother is supposed to take the back seat and take care of the children. In this day and age, people need both incomes. So there has to be a plan devised where we're going to do this together, because I'm not putting myself on the back burner for anyone. Because if I do that, then I'm going to start feeling resentment towards you as my spouse. I might even go into depression, because now I'm not working in the talents and the skills, my God-given talents and skills, and to put myself out there to where I'm thriving in that. Like, I'm being productive in that. I'm wasting away and feeling like I'm inadequate at this point, because I'm taking a back seat to support you, and society just feels like that's supposed to be right. like that's what you're supposed to do. When it's I don't agree with that. I mean, we both brought this child into this world. We're both parenting, so we both have to figure out a plan on how we both going to thrive together while we're raising our children who are seeing us thrive and going to want to thrive themselves, hopefully, because you're planting that seed. So I suggest that you get counseling, go through the healing process, and also number two, counseling. Figure out a plan. Number two, for you to figure out now what are you going to do in terms of reaching your goals, because you can still reach your goals. I talk about that in Single Mother Diaries. As a single mother, how I went and got my bachelor's degree, my master's degree while I was a single parent, and how I built two businesses. Even though I built those businesses after I got married, the inspiration came from when I was single. But I got everything else I achieved as a single mother because I already had the determination and the mindset and decided that I was going to do this regardless. Like, this was my journey. I'm going to do it. That was a decision and I got it done. So, and I want you all to have that same enthusiasm and vigor to say, this is my decision and this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to plan this out because I'm going to get it done. Because if you just think about it, this year we're already halfway through March. Time is moving. Time is a commodity. It's going to come and go. This year's going to come and go. Next year's going to come and go. The year after that's going to come and go. And then you don't want to look back 2 years later and say, you know what? I never started on this. When you had an opportunity, or you could just call me, because this is what I do, to say, you know what, how can I balance this? How can I juggle this? I really want to do this, but I need support. I need help because I don't know where to start. That's where you have your people who have been there before, who have experienced it and who have thrived in it, like myself, can support you in making sure that you do win in life as a single or divorced or blended mom. The third thing that I would suggest that you do, I forgot what I was going to say. So it was the going to counseling, doing your planning, and I forget what the third thing was. This is what happens when you sit down and you leave your notes, you start recording, and you realize you left your notes in the other room. I remember. You really want to work on changing and shifting. And I know there's hostility there. I know that there's conflict there. But you really want to work on shifting your conversation with your ex. Because now it's not about you and your husband. Now it's about you and your child's father. So you got to kind of shift and I'm not saying to beg and plead and to kiss butt or anything, but men do. I say this all the time. Men take in information, they process information, and they respond to information different than we do. So as women, so you have to get in a place to where you're try to have a calmer conversation and try to take the emotion out of it. Take the emotion out of the conversation and just have a direct without being disrespectful, and tell him not to disrespect you also but you do your part. You do your part, and eventually, hopefully, he will follow along with it and get to a place where he's not going to be disrespectful. But you do need to say, this is not a place for us to be disrespectful. When you're ready to have this conversation, let me know. If you need to text it or whatever, if it gets that hostile. But you want to get to a place where you're not cussing, screaming. Don't go to that place. Just don't let your energy go there. You need to shift your energy towards betterment for yourself. So that's all the time that I have for right now. I only have had a few minutes, because I normally like to get on for about 15 minutes. But I want to say that I had a great time at MommyCon. I thank you all who came to hear me speak, and those who talked with me afterwards, because we talked for a few minutes afterwards, and then those that came back to my booth. I will be vending this weekend with both of my books at C-Band's book in brunch gala. I think that's what it's called, brunch and book gala, or book and brunch gala over here in Chicago. And then I will be at Prairie State on Wednesday for their Single Mother Day, Prairie State College for their Single Mother Day. I won't be speaking because it's more so there for people to come and gather the resources, but I will be there to talk and to mentor anybody that comes to my booth who is a single parent and really needs direction, really needs an advocate and a mentor to help them to thrive. Again, I'm only, my place and for where God is placing me in terms of service is for women, moms who are ready to thrive, who are ambitious, and they don't want to feel like they are a stigma, and because they have a child that they can't grow, they can't succeed, they can't win. And I'm here to tell you that you can. So follow me, continue to follow me on Aria Craig Strategist for Moms, my Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram, which is where I do a lot of my posting, aria.craig. Follow me on LinkedIn, Aria Craig, and Twitter, Aria_Craig. Reach out to me for speaking engagements. If you want me to speak to your audience of moms or single moms, divorced moms, blended moms for inspiration, transformation, motivation, I love that. It's like I am walking in my purpose and my passion. I'm comfortable with it. I love to inspire and motivate. I want to see us all win. This is a day in time in history for us women and mothers to win. So contact me at 877-534-4293, or go to my website at www.ariacraig.com. That's going to be under construction probably within the next couple of weeks, because I have some goodies that I'm working on to help us move forward and win. And I'm going to put all of that. I'm doing everything myself. So this has been a process. When I get to a point to where I'm gonna get to a point to where I need a team, but right now, because I'm doing everything myself, it's gonna take a little bit longer, but I'm gonna get it done. It's a decision. So until next time, I will talk with you later. Bye.